Hey, my name's Dan Warner. Welcome to Dan Warner Media. If you are already a subscriber, welcome back to my channel. Today, we're going to be talking about something interesting. It's a very great acting tip, and it's something that will happen to you hopefully eventually in your career when you have a really great close-up. Some actors don't know where to look. Now, I know that sounds like, why wouldn't you know where to look? You just look right at your scene partner. Yes. However, there is a specific way to look at your scene partner, and depending on your character and what your character does and how your character is, will depend on how you look at them, where you look at them, and whether you blink or not, believe it or not. So let's get this party started. Okay, we're talking about close-ups today, and we're talking about eyeline and where to look and how to look. And so I'm just going to jump right into it. If you have a scene and the camera is where the camera is now and your scene partner is to the left of the camera, so you're looking at your scene partner here, you have to look at your scene partner with a specific eye depending on what kind of a scene it is. So let's say it's a very serious scene. If you look at your scene partner with your left eye to their left eye, here's where your face is going to be. Now, if you look at them with your right eye to their right eye, here's where your face is going to be. And if you continue to talk to them, see how it opens up my face? And my face is here. And if you continue to talk to them and it's a serious scene and you continue to talk to them and you continue to talk to them and you don't blink, then people suddenly take you serious. On the other hand, if you are a little more maybe frail or unsure of yourself and you're looking left eye to left eye, and if you notice when I'm blinking, you're not blinking a lot, but if you're blinking while you're talking, then you seem a little unsure versus not blinking and talking, and suddenly you seem like you know what the hell you're talking about and you're very serious about what you're talking about. Versus here, and your eyes darting around, it puts you in a little bit more of a vulnerable position, again, as opposed to here, face is open, not blinking, saying something serious to somebody, and not blinking. Can you see the difference? There's a big difference. Versus here, when you're talking to somebody, and again, depending on your character, is going to depend on where you put your face. Looking at them, your left eye to their left eye brings your face here, gives you more of a profile, puts you in a less powerful position. If you open your face up and you look right eye to right eye, this is a lot more serious. And again, blinking versus no blinking means the difference in vulnerable or not vulnerable. So if I'm telling you something and I'm giving you tips and tricks on how to do stuff, and I am not blinking and I'm just telling you, that's different than me, telling you something that you think maybe I'm unsure about. So those are the differences, and that's I got to tell you, it's a great little trick and it's a great little nuance, and it's something that you should keep in the back of your mind. Hopefully you'll have close-ups. Hopefully you'll have a lot of them. If they're dramatic, right eye to right eye, if the person's on the left side of the camera. Now, the exact opposite if the person's on the right side of the camera. So you're going to go left eye to left eye. So you're here instead of here. So it's just where you position your face. And when you get your face a little more squared to camera, even if it's a little bit, because if you're way over here, this makes a big difference. If the person's over here and the camera's there, this makes a big difference. Does that make sense? here's the last thing about this and the eyeline and all that. And this is we're going to call this 3-Minute Thursday because we're going to go through this real quick. But it's a really powerful tip, and it's really something that will really, really help you and make your scene so much better, especially in a close-up. Because you have to remember that when the camera's really close, you don't have to do much to make your point. You don't have to be dramatic. You don't have to move around. You don't have to give a face if you're confused. If you're confused and the camera's right here, they're going to know you're confused because they can just see the wheels turning as opposed to being a little too over the top. The other thing is, and I'll leave you with this, do not dart your eyes back and forth to the person. You know, when you're talking to someone and then you're looking at one eye and then looking at the other eye and one eye and the other eye, nobody does that in real life. They look at one eye and that's it, and they talk to that person in that one eye. It's pretty rare that they'll go back and forth. Actors do that. People do not do that. And so when you're acting, you want to be a real person. So you'll want to look right in their eye and keep it that way. If it's a serious scene, then again, there's going to be no blinking. If you're a little more vulnerable or unsure of yourself, or maybe you have something to hide, that's another one. If you're hiding something, then there's a little more pause to your cadence. There's a little more looking around. There's a little more, you know, behavior with your hand. There's a little more fidgeting. Those kinds of things. And those are just all little things that you need to keep in mind when you're rehearsing your scene. Again, I've done another video on this where you don't have time to rehearse and do all these little nuances when you get to the set. You're probably meeting your scene partner for the very first time. So you'll want to have practiced all these things. Eyeline, the fidgeting if you're vulnerable, the staring if you're not vulnerable, if you're in a position of power. And all those things will make you a better actor. If you have any questions about anything that I have told you today, ask them down below in the questions and comments. Like this if you liked it, and if you haven't subscribed, I'm gonna limit my subscription here soon so no one else can subscribe. So subscribe now or you won't be able to subscribe next week. That's not true. They won't let me do that. And I wouldn't do that anyway. So there you have it. That is your tip of the week, your acting tip of the week. My name is Dan Warner. Thanks for visiting Dan Warner Media. Oh, also, listen, I do private coaching. And if you need an agent, all my stuff is on my website, danwarnermedia.com. It is a fantastic place to get more tips, tutorials, learn how to get an agent. I've got all kinds of cool stuff there, so check it out. All right, see you next week on another episode of Batman and Robin. Like the original one, not that stuff they do now, Batman and Robin. I mean, I'm talking about Batcave, where they went through the rocks, and they had the Batmobile, all that stuff.